Welcome to the channel Aura of Stories. Today we are going to tell the story of one of the most important works in Brazilian literature, the posthumous memoirs of Brás Cubas by Machado de Assis. A story unlike anything you have ever seen, because it does not begin with birth, it does not begin with childhood, it does not begin with love. It begins with death. The dead author. Brás Cubas is dead, and that is exactly why he decides to tell his story, free from judgment, free from appearances, free from the need to please. He presents himself as a dead author. He does not write to teach morals, he does not write to be an example, he writes to reveal the truth of his own life. A life marked by privilege, selfishness, and illusions, and in the end, by emptiness. The childhood of a rich boy. Brás Cubas was born into a wealthy family in 19th century Rio de Janeiro. From an early age, he had everything: servants, comfort, education, money. He never had to fight for anything. His parents spoiled him constantly, especially his father, who dreamed of seeing him powerful, famous, and respected. From an early age, Brás learned that the world existed to serve him, and that shaped his entire personality. He grew up vain, proud, convinced of his own importance. Youth and first desires. When he was young, Brás was sent to Europe to study. There, he lived without worries. He attended parties, met influential people, spent money without thinking. He did not take his studies very seriously. His true interest was pleasure, fun, prestige, the feeling of superiority. From early on, he did not seek purpose, he sought status. Marcela, the first love. Back in Brazil, Brás meets Marcela, a beautiful, charming, and ambitious woman. He falls deeply in love. He begins to spend large amounts of money to please her: jewelry, clothes, gifts, outings. Marcela returns his affection as long as the money lasts. Brás himself admits, "Marcela loved me for 15 months and 11 contos de reis." Or in other words, love lasted only while money existed. When the money ran out, the love ended. This was his first great disappointment, but he did not learn from it. His mother's death and his return to Brazil. Shortly after, his mother became seriously ill. Brás rushed back. She died. That moment could have changed him. It could have made him reflect, but it did not. He suffered for a short time. Soon he returned to his usual empty life. Virgilia, the forbidden love. Then Virgilia appeared. Beautiful, intelligent, ambitious. Brás fell in love. He believed he would marry her, but Virgilia chose another man, Lobo Neves, a promising politician. With him, she would have status, power, and prestige. Brás lost, once again. Years later, however, they met again and began a secret relationship. Virgilia, now married, became Brás's lover. They met in secret. They lived a forbidden passion full of guilt, desire, and hypocrisy. In public, they were respectable. In private, they lied. The affair lasted for years and ended without glory. No happy ending, only wear and exhaustion. Political ambition. Influenced by his father, Brás tried to enter politics. He dreamed of becoming a congressman. He wanted recognition, importance, power. But he had no discipline, no effort, no commitment. His project failed. Another frustrated attempt. Quincas Borba and humanism. Brás met Quincas Borba, an old friend who became a philosopher, half mad, half brilliant. Quincas created a philosophy called humanism. According to it, life is a struggle. The strong win, the weak lose. To the victor, the potatoes. In other words, whoever wins has the right to everything. Whoever loses disappears. This philosophy represents human selfishness, a moral justification for exploiting others. Brás sympathized with this idea. It matched his personality. The delirium. Already ill and close to death, Brás had a delirium, a strange vision. He saw humanity passing before him, wars, hunger, suffering, ambition, conquests, destruction, centuries passing, people being born, living, dying, all in an endless cycle. He realized life is fragile, glory is fleeting, vanity is useless, and yet he did not change. The Brás Cubas plaster. In his final years, Brás created a project, a miraculous medicine, the Brás Cubas plaster, an ointment that would cure melancholy. More than helping people, he wanted fame. He wanted his name in history. But the project never came true. He fell ill first and died, without finishing anything. Old age and loneliness. Before his death, his life was marked by loneliness. He never married, he had no children, he built no family, he left no heirs. He had money, but no meaning. He had comfort, but no purpose. He lived surrounded by people, yet alone inside. Death. Brás Cubas died quietly, without glory, without honors, without legacy, without importance. And only after dying did he decide to write. The final balance. At the end of the book, Brás takes stock of his life. He lists his failures. He was not a politician, he was not a hero, he was not a father, he was not a husband, he was not an example. He never did anything truly great. And then he concludes, his greatest victory was not having children, because that way he did not pass on his moral misery, he did not pass on his emptiness. It's an ironic ending, sad, cruel, but honest. The message of the work. Machado de Assis did not write this story to glorify Brás. He wrote it to criticize him. Brás represents the empty elite, selfishness, hypocrisy, a life without purpose. He had everything, but he built nothing. He lived for himself and died without leaving a mark. Closing. The posthumous Memoirs of Brás Cubas is more than a book. It's a mirror. It asks us, what are we doing with our lives? Are we truly living, or are we only accumulating status, comfort, and appearances? In the end, what will remain? I hope you enjoyed this story. If you did, leave a like, subscribe to the channel Aura Narrativa, and comment on which work you would like to see next. See you in the next video.